Welcome to another edition of Indy 500, the classics. I'm Mike King, along with Speedway historian Donald Davidson. We're here inside the beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame Museum. And Donald, you know, when this roadster was unloaded from its trailer back in 1962, its team was getting set to tackle a new racing surface.
Effectively so. For the most recent years, at least, the greater part of the main straightaway had still been of bricks and mortar. And then finally the time came. As soon as the 61 race was over, down went the asphalt. Now, for a number of years, the drivers had been flirting with 150 miles an hour. Nobody had exceeded that yet. Well, let's just see what happens in practice for 1962.
Even a veteran driver like Jimmy Daywalt can push his car beyond the ragged edge. But the search continues, and the practice speeds grow faster. Parnelli Jones, last year's sensational rookie, tops 148, then 149, and in one magic moment, almost breaks the 150-mile-an-hour barrier. Leaping to the track from the pit wall, car owner J.C. Agajanian applauds his new threat to the track record. But the quest for speed is difficult for Eddie Sachs. He's won the pole position 2 straight years, and he'd like to make it 3 times, something that's never been done before. On a morning practice run, he loses a wheel. It follows his car down the track while sparks fly from the hub, scraping the pavement. Eddie is okay, but it's the first day of qualification, and his car needs repairs before he can make an official run for a position in the big race. More than 150,000 spectators come to the first day of qualification. They know the best drivers and the fastest cars will make their bids for the top starting positions. More than 70 race cars will try, but less than half will win their chance to start the race. First to qualify is Dick Rathman, setting a fast pace of 147 miles per hour for other drivers to follow. Other drivers whose names are a legend in the world of automobile racing. Next comes Len Sutton of Portland, Oregon. He's the driver of the Leader Card Special and teammate of Roger Ward, who won the race in 1959. Sutton goes faster and faster. His qualifying speed of 149.328 is the fastest ever. Jim Mcclure is a first-year rookie. He drives a beautiful red racer owned by mechanic Ollie Prather. The run is effortless and beautiful. The speed, 149.02 miles an hour. Parnelli Jones believes records are made to be broken, and he qualifies at a new record speed of 150.370 miles per hour. His fantastic run showed all 4 laps in the 150-mile-an-hour bracket. He's the Indianapolis hero of the day, and the newspapers, anticipating his top qualifying speed, headline him as the man to beat. Last year's Indianapolis winner, A.J. Foyt, shows he still is a champion by topping 149 miles per hour. Gurney qualifies the most unusual car on the track. Powered by an aluminum passenger car engine that's mounted behind the driver, Gurney's car is smaller and lighter than the conventional Indianapolis Roadster. The innovation is successful as Gurney qualifies at 147.886. Frustration sweeps the pits as racing crews see the hot qualifying speeds which they must match. Race fans watch driver after driver start a qualification attempt only to be called back by his crew, fearful that man and machine will fail to reach the new high speeds of 1962. Hall tries a little too hard, and the only record he sets is an 800-foot crash spin through the first turn and short straightaway. Using his own brand of wizardry, Roger Ward qualifies the leader card entry with a speed of 149.371 miles an hour, second only to Parnelli Jones, and assuring himself a race day starting position in the front row of cars. Determined to get into the race, Norm Hall tries again in another car. He pushes too hard in the first turn and once again hits the wall, a terrific blow. He's out of competition for 1962. The second weekend of time trials opens with Jack Turner on the track. He qualifies at a speed of 146.496. And then popular Eddie Sachs takes his turn, hoping to break his chain of bad luck. Bronner nods approval of his qualifying speed, and Sachs wins a starting position with a qualifying time of 146.431. Other drivers are not so prudent. Leon Klum slips across the ragged edge and spins out of control on the fourth turn. With the track cleared of dirt and debris, officials announce it's open once again for qualification. And Bruce Jacoby qualifies. But his engine explodes after he crosses the finish line, locking his wheels and throwing the car into a violent spin. Jacoby recovers nicely, saving the car for the race. Men and machines alike are suffering from unseasonable heat. The track temperature is recorded at 141 degrees. But qualifications must continue as time runs out. Jim Hurtubise, one of the most spectacular qualifiers of all time, pulls onto the track in the Daimler Special. Three jolting crashes against the concrete wall twist his car into junk and keep it out of competition. Back in the pits, Hurtubise explains a gust of wind caught him. He's looking for another ride, and he finds one. Without ever driving the car before, he climbs into the Jim Robbins Special and drives just like he grew up in it during closing moments of time trials, qualifying at a speed of 146.963 miles per hour. Spectators are overjoyed that colorful Jim Hurtubise will compete in the 500. And one particular spectator, his wife, is the happiest of all.
So we've got Parnelli Jones on the pole for the 1962 500 and a very strong threat to win, the favorite, in spite of the fact that it's only his second race. Now pay particular attention to the start and see how closely the cars used to be bunched for the starts in those days.
Pat Vadan is ready to drop the green flag on the 33-car field. Let's go racing. It's the 1962 Indianapolis 500.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Each driver is on his own for 200 laps, 3.5 grinding, deafening hours. From his pole position, Parnelli Jones takes the lead. The field begins to string out with Parnelli widening the gap. Setting a sizzling pace, he roars on far ahead of the others. He increases his lead going down the main straight, and he's way out in front at the beginning of the second lap. Signals he has a 6-second lead. His car owner, J.C. Agajanian, tense but happy. The young Californian is setting a fantastic pace. Driving duels are developing back in the pack as Roger Ward and Foyt fight for the second spot. But record lap speeds of over 146 miles per hour are too much. 4 cars cross that ragged edge. 3 of the drivers walk away while Jack Turner is taken to the hospital. He has a broken toe and a big headache. His car wrecked beyond repair. The yellow caution light remains on for 15 laps. The cars run at reduced speeds, threading their way through as the bent and twisted wrecks are towed to their garages. Then the green flag sends Parnelli on his way again, full speed ahead. He leads the others back into competition. They charge and jockey for better positions. The extreme speed causes Shorty Templeman to lose control on the 37th lap. His pit crew pushes the car from the head of the main straightaway back into the pits. Shorty's okay, and his car is not damaged. After necessary tire changes, he goes back in the race. Now the routine pit stops begin. Dan Gurney's advanced design car is lifted from the pit area surface by an air jack. The car gets 3 new tires and almost 30 gallons of fuel. Gurney gets clean goggles, a drink, and he's rushed off, back in the race once again. Mcclure comes in for new tires and a tank of mobile fuel. A drink of water cools his throat, which is parched from dust and fumes. With a field of cars so closely matched in performance, the race now becomes a contest of strategy, of planning. A race fought out in the pits where the coordination of the service crew can win or lose the race for the driver. Roger Ward's expert crew gets the job done in 19 seconds. Hours of practice before the race are paying off now when every second counts and is important. Pace setter Parnelli Jones comes in. His fantastic lead has earned him almost $9,000 in lap prizes. Foyt takes the lead briefly as Parnelli's crew bangs wheels into place and forces fuel into the tank. 21 seconds, and he's on his way, building up speed to rejoin the battle. Out on the track, action continues at a blistering pace. Bobby Grimm loses control for a split second and spins, but ends up heading in the right direction and continues on. Parnelli goes ahead again on the green flag. A.J. Foyt is coming in for a pit stop, looking over his shoulder at his right rear wheel. His crew checks the car and rolls him out again. Later, a wheel comes off. He spins into the infield. The wheel won't quit. It rolls along on its own. Foyt's car is finished for this race, but Foyt isn't about to quit. He runs through the infield to the pit area. Foyt climbs into another car to relieve stocky Paul Russo. So the race goes on. At the halfway mark, Parnelli is ahead, but Ward is closing in. Parnelli is not keeping up his earlier record speeds, though. The pace is knocking out car after car. Chuck Hulse walks slowly back to the pits, his car conked out. Parnelli holds on to his precious lead. He's been in front for more than 80 laps and is piling up prize money at the rate of $150 a lap. But all is not well. His pit crew questions his brakes, but he keeps charging, for Roger Ward is second and running on his tail. But Ward must make another pit stop. This one takes only 23 seconds. He goes, chasing Parnelli. Len Sutton comes in. His smooth working crew almost look like they're loping, but Len hardly has time to drink a cup of water before he's shoved back on the track. Sachs, who's doing a beautiful job of driving and has fought his way into third place from the 27th spot, is in for tires and fuel, but not for long. The race roars on. Ward has moved ahead of Parnelli, and it looks like Parnelli is in trouble. He's running without brakes and gliding down the pit apron. He can't stop. He bounces over wheels and tires in a frantic effort to slow down, then scrapes into the pit wall to stop. He's been running without brakes since the 76th lap. With no brakes to slow him down entering the turns, he must drive at an overall slower speed. Roger Ward holds his lead. His sizzling average of more than 140 miles per hour, including running at slow speeds under the caution light, plus a total time of only 1 minute, 2 seconds for 3 pit stops, puts him way out in front. 3 laps to go. Ward in front. Len Sutton is second. Eddie Sachs third, after rushing through from a 27th starting position. Ward takes the white flag, and his crew goes wild. Then he takes the checkered flag. A fantastic win. A new record of over 140 miles an hour average for the entire 500 miles. It's Ward's second trip into the winner's circle. The 41-year-old veteran driver first won the Memorial Day Classic in 1959. He knows right where to go, but the thrill is bigger this time, he says, than before. Len Sutton is second. He jumps for joy, hugging his mechanic, Chiki Hiroshima. Eddie Sachs is happy to have nailed down third place. And Parnelli Jones finishes the race without a sign of brakes on the car. His crew going crazy, trying to get him stopped. And now Roger Ward goes out to receive an ovation from the crowd. He has won. He has conquered the ragged edge.
So Roger Ward and Len Sutton finished first and second for the same team, leader cards out of Milwaukee. And now, more than 30 years later, still no team has been able to finish first and second in the same 500.
Roger Ward, the winner of the 1962 Indianapolis 500. We thank you for joining us for this edition of Indy 500, the Classics. For Donald Davidson, I'm Mike King. We'll see you again next time.